A key female figure in Greek mythology, mostly known for her snake silhouette and evil eyes, Medusa is actually quite a complex character, with much more depth than most initially think. Before diving into Medusa herself, we first have to know about the three Gorgons. The three monster sisters, Steno, Euryale, and Medusa. All three of them had snakes instead of hair, large wings, and sharp teeth. They were the daughters of the sea god Phorkys and his wife Ceto, who was also a sister. The thing that distinguished Medusa from her two sisters was that she, unlike them, was not immortal and was ultimately slain by Perseus. In Ovid's Metamorphoses, Medusa is actually described as a lovely young woman, that is, until she is raped by Poseidon, enamored by her beauty in Athena's temple. After this terrible event, Athena, driven by jealousy, cursed Medusa by giving her snakes instead of hair, and a deadly ability which made it so everyone who would gaze upon the terrible Medusa would meet their fate by instantly turning into solid stone. We know Medusa was famously defeated by the demigod Perseus, but how did this homicide come to be? Perseus, the son of Danae and Zeus, was sent by King Polydectes to defeat Medusa and bring him her decapitated head. Athena gifted Perseus a reflective shield, and he was given a cap of invisibility by Hades. This gave him the ability to avoid Medusa's two sisters and head straight for his target. While she was deep asleep, Perseus managed to cut off Medusa's head. Afterwards, Pegasus, a winged horse, was birthed from Medusa's blood, along with his brother Chrysaor. On the way back to King Polydectes, Perseus meets Andromeda, a beautiful woman whom he saves from a sea monster. Perseus wants to marry her, but she was destined to marry Phineus, a son of Agenor, and thus Perseus used the head of Medusa to turn Phineus into solid stone before marrying Andromeda. They both finally carried the head to Polydectes. Polydectes was stunned that Perseus returned and did not believe that he slayed Medusa. Perseus reached out and showed him the head of Medusa, but when Polydectes and his noble glanced over at Medusa's head, they all turned into solid stone. We now recognize Medusa to be a fairly attractive woman, a kind of femme fatale, but in classical Greek depictions she looked a lot different. All three Gorgons were in fact portrayed as round-faced, flat-nosed, with tongues lolling out and with large projecting teeth. Simply put, they were not the prettiest sight to behold. Interestingly enough, Medusa is actually most commonly used as a symbol to ward off the evil, much like an evil eye. This is explained by her turning anyone who looks at her into solid stone. She's usually depicted with her eyes directly fixed at the one who's watching, which was uncommon for the artist at the time to do. Medusa's representation in art is all over the place, from architecture to pottery and even metalwork. Besides these examples from ancient times, the infamous Gorgon is also depicted in modern forms of media, like movies. In the film Clash of the Titans from the 70s, she was actually misrepresented, which sparked the idea in future depictions of Medusa.
The Medusa character seems to be one of the favorites of many fans that have written to me. Some of the early films, they just took an actress and put rubber snakes in her hair, which looked rather artificial when she walked. They just all bounced in unison. And I didn't want that, so I had to redesign her so that she had a serpentine body. But every statue I'd seen, she was just a woman with a pretty face and had snakes in her hair. Well, that wasn't very dramatic, so I gave her a rather demonic look. We gave her a rattlesnake's tail so that she could be a menace from the sound effect point of view. It was a shock to see her come out from behind the wall, crawling on her hands, because that was the only way she could propel herself.
With her having a full-on snake body and a bow, while in original literature she was described as having a normal human figure, apart from her hairdo of course, and a bow was never mentioned. Most people will probably instinctively picture Medusa as a bad person, an infamous female villain purely known for her wrath and atrocious looks, but as we know by now, Medusa is clearly a victim and used by the gods. This shows just how easily the story of this complex Gorgon can get twisted and misrepresented by all forms of the media. I am super interested in what you have to say about the tale of Medusa. If you like this video, check out my other video essays. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you in my next video.